Yo, what's going on today, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Now, as you can tell by the title of the video, that it will be centered around RJ Barrett and his summer league performance. And I wanted to do 3 separate videos on Ja Morant and Zion Williamson, but since Morant had off-season knee surgery and Williamson only played 9 minutes, I won't waste time on a video about it. So without further ado, let's get right into the video.
With the 3rd pick in the 2019 NBA Draft, the New York Knicks select RJ Barrett from Toronto and Duke University.
That's no Porzingis reaction from the draft, kids.
No crying today.
This is who they wanted.
RJ Barrett was drafted number 3 overall by the New York Knicks behind his college teammate Zion Williamson and point guard Ja Morant. Barrett came into college as the number 1 ranked prospect out of high school, which was a spot ahead of Zion. Barrett was putting up ridiculous numbers on the AAU circuit and the international game, which he scored 38 points on the under-17 U.S. team. Zion had the height, but scouts regarded Barrett as a better prospect with skills ready for the NBA, with some scouts comparing him to NBA superstar James Harden. Ultimately, he fell to number 3 not because he underachieved at Duke, but because Zion and Ja Morant put up ridiculous numbers and wowed a lot of scouts. While he did show questionable decision making in college and a streaky shot at best, there were still conversations on whether or not he would end up a better player than Zion and if he should be taken number 2 instead of Morant. RJ got a chance to prove himself in Summer League over a 2-week span, and let's just say it was a little rocky to say the best. He played 5 games, and in his first 2 games he scored a total of 18 points on 7 of 33 shooting from the field, which is a 21% field goal percentage, and made very little impact on both games. On the plus side, he bounced back for his final 3 games and averaged just under 20 points per game, 9 boards, and had a game where he dished out 10 assists to showcase his complete arsenal as a basketball player. His shooting was still a concern, but improved from the first 2 games, ended up shooting 43% from the field. A few things stood out as I watched him play his first 5 games in Summer League, and I want to stress, it's just Summer League. Sometimes you could pick up habits from Summer League that could be an issue that needs improving, and some things you can chalk up as just Summer League. One of the biggest issues I saw with RJ, especially in his first 2 games, was he was forcing the issue too much. He was trying to get dribble penetration and gaps that weren't available to him, and sometimes it led to ill-advised shots in the paint or a contested 3-pointer. It almost looked like he was trying to desperately prove he should have been the number 1 pick, especially in the first game against Zion Williamson. It continued on to the second game, and you could tell by the way he was shooting, even on wide open shots. He lost a little bit of confidence in the shot. It seemed like he was trying to throw the ball into the basket instead of just shooting as he normally does, and it became a mental thing for him. The Knicks had a few days off in between the second and third game, and you can tell there was a difference. You could probably chalk the first couple of games up to nerves and wanted to prove a point. He was still aggressive getting to the lane, and it shows by his free throw attempts in the final 3 games, including the game in which he attempted 10 free throws. His aggressiveness was not out of control like it was the first 2 games, and you can see a difference in his mentality. He was more consistent with his shooting mechanics, which leads me to my next concern about RJ, which is his inconsistency with his mechanics. When you watch shooters like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, one thing that always stands out is how consistent their shooting mechanics are. Even when Steph is shooting off-balance shots, the way he releases the ball is always the same. I'm not saying RJ would shoot like Steph or Klay, but it's something I noticed in college is that his mechanics can be inconsistent at times, and if he gets in the gym and work on perfecting those mechanics, especially on off-balance shots, on pull-ups or threes coming off pin downs and screens, he'll be a much more consistent shooter going forward. What was impressive about his games in the Summer League was his aggressiveness on the boards. We're always taught that the one time you should be selfish in basketball is for rebounds, because it ends the possession for the other team and creates extra possessions for your own team. With his size at 6'7" and around a 6'10" wingspan, I think he can be an excellent rebounder in the league, and it will help his team by being able to grab boards and push the break, since he's also a willing passer and good court vision. I believe RJ Barrett will have a great career in the NBA. He doesn't have many flaws in his game besides his consistent shooting, which I believe will get better. His mindset about the game is where you want it to be for a 3rd overall pick or someone who wanted to go to the Knicks. It says a lot about his basketball character that he welcomes the New York media that is the most brutal in the world and welcomes the criticism. It showed after he was crushed the first 2 games and was being called a bust, and came back and had 3 pretty good games. That's it for this video on RJ Barrett. I'll be working on a video tonight that will go up probably tomorrow on some dark horse Summer League players that didn't get the recognition the way the top 3 players in the draft did. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure you subscribe for more basketball content and like the video. Later, everybody.